Hey guys, I'm Jay. Today is my LeetCode review vlog on the 76th problem, minimum window substring. We are given two strings, S and T, of lengths M and N, respectively. We have to return minimum window substring of S such that each character in T, including duplicates, is included in the window. If there is no such substring, we have to return the empty string. The test cases will be generated such that the answer is unique. Let's see the example 1 here. We got two input strings and the output is bank. This is because the minimum window substring bank includes A, B, C from the string T. Then let's start it quickly with our intuition now. So my first intuition to solve the problem is I'm going to use two pointers to create a static window, which can expand and contract as needed. The window will expand to include necessary characters and contract to minimize once a valid window that contains all the characters of T. And there are three key steps to remember. So the first step is we have to expand the right pointer until we found a valid window. And the second step is we're going to do the contract from the left until the window becomes invalid. Until the window becomes invalid. And then we are to increment the right pointer so we can find another valid window. And during the whole process, we have to record the smallest window. And at the end, we just return the smallest window or the empty string. So let's get started with our code with very detailed annotations. And the first step is we have to pay attention to those edge cases. There are two edge cases we have to take care of. The first is when s.length is equal to 0. And the second is t.length is equal to 0. For these two cases, we just return an empty string as the problem asks for. And the second step is we have to create a hash map to keep account of all the unique characters in it, in the T. And code is map of character and integer to record the count of each character. And the name is called T character count map and equals a new hash map. And the third step is we have to iterate through the T and put all the T inside the map with the corresponding count. So the code is we have a for loop and iterating pointer started at 0, and the condition is I should be less than t.length, and we have to increment I after each iteration. And inside the for loop, we just to put every characters in T into the T character count map. So the code is first we have to get the count of that character. In count equals T character count map with the method of get or default. So the character is t.character at I, and the default value is 0. And then we have to put a new count into the hash map. T character count map put t.character I with a new count, which is count plus 1. And out of the for loop, we're going to create several variables to help us solve the problem. Let's say the first variable we need is called required. And required should be initialized with t character count map dot size. And the value is the number of unique characters in t, which need to be present in the desired window. And then we have to create a left pointer and a right pointer. Left pointer started at 0 and right pointer started at 0, 2. Our next step is we are going to create a formed variable. Formed variable is used to keep track of how many unique characters in t are present in the current window in its desired frequency. So the code is integer form started at 0, 2, and then we have to build an extra hash map for the frequency of characters in t, which is map of character and integer, and it is called window character count map, and started with an empty hash map. New hash map, and the final variable we're going to create is an integer array. Let's call it an answer, and initialize with three elements. The first stands for window length, and the initialized value is integer dot max value. This is because if we found at least one possible sliding window which is valid, then we have to update this value. If not, which means we didn't find any possible valid window, then we just return an empty string. So integer.max value is very important. And we have to create the second element, stands for the left pointer of the minimum window so far, and the third variable stands for the right pointer of the minimum window so far. And then we have to use a while loop to traverse all the possible sliding window. So the code is right pointer should be less than s.length. And inside this while loop, the first step is we have to get the character at the right pointer position. And we have to add one character from the right to the window. So first we have to get a character from it, which is s.character at right pointer. And next step is we have to get the new count of this character. So the code is int count equals window character count map, and we have to get our default with the character of C, and default value is 0. And then we have to update the value of count in the window character count map. Window count hash count window character count map. Have to put with the character C and count plus 1. And then we have to check if the frequency of the current character added equals to the desired count in T. If so, we have to increment the form count. Form count is very important because we have to check it when form is equal to the required variable, which means we found a unique valid window, and which means we have to do a contract further. So we have to check if we can increment the form with the condition of t character count map is contains key of C, and we have to make sure their count value are equals, which is window character count map dot get C with integer value should be equal to t character count map dot get C with integer value. If the final condition is true, we just increment the formed variable. And then we have to check if form is equal to required. If so, which means we found a unique valid window, and then we have to do a contract operation. So the code is while formed variable is equal to required variable. And there's another condition we have to pay attention to, which is left pointer should be less than or equal to right, because that's the constraints to make sure it is a valid sliding window. And inside the while loop, we have to save the smallest window until now. Save the smallest. And code is if right pointer minus left pointer plus 1, which means the length of the current valid starting window should be less than answers of 0. Answers of 0, it is the minimum length so far. And if the condition is true, which means we found another smaller valid starting window, so we have to update all the 3 elements inside the answer array. So answer of 0 should be updated with right pointer minus left pointer and plus 1. And answer of 1 just be updated with left pointer, and answer of 2 should be updated with the right pointer. And the second step is we have to get the character at, which is s dot character at left pointer, because we have to remove this character from the starting window to check for a smaller possible valid starting window. And then we have to decrement the count from the window character count map. Window character count map should be put with the character and window character count map dot get C and -1. And then we have to check if is still a valid window after removing the character C. If t character count map contains key of C, and we have to make sure window character count map get C dot integer value less than t character count map dot get C dot integer value. Oops, I forgot a pair of round brackets. If so, we have to decrement form to break this while loop, and then we have to increment right pointer to found another valid window. So the code is formed should be decremented. Oops. And the next step is out of the if loop, out of the if situation, we have to move the left pointer ahead. This would help to look for another possible smaller valid window. We have to increment left pointer. And out of the while loop, which means currently it is not a valid sliding window anymore. So we have to increment the right pointer to keep expanding to the right to find another possible valid window. And out of the for loop here, we just return the substring from answer of 1 to answer of 2 plus 1. But before that, we have to check if answer of 0 is equal to integer dot max value. If so, we just return an empty string as the problem asks for. If not, we just to get s.substring substring from answer of 1 and to answer of 2 plus 1. And this is all of code for it. And then let's check for the correctness. It is in line 4. We miss a semicolon. Let's add it and check it again. So the time complexity of this problem, it is big O of n plus n. T character at I, line 8, which is T dot character at I, which is big O of n plus n. And m and n stands for the length of string s and t. Line 19, if key character count map contains key of C and integer value missing a pair of round brackets. And the space complexity, it is big O of n plus n, as we create several hash maps to help us solve the problem. And yes, our answer got accepted. And this is the end of my LeetCode review vlog on the minimum window substring problem. You can also visit my GitHub page on the link here, and I write very detailed problem description, problem understanding, intuition and main idea, and Java code with detailed annotations and time and space complexity on my online GitHub page here, and also with my GitHub repository here. I'll put these two links on my YouTube description below. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time.